Hello, my fishing friends. Your expert angler is here with the most anticipated forecast of the week for the United Kingdom. We're diving deep into the conditions for Saturday, October 25th, 2025. Will this be a day of epic catches, or will we be scratching our heads? Stick around because I've got some interesting insights and a few little tricks up my sleeve that might just turn a slow day into a memorable one. This autumn day is shaping up to be quite unique, with cooling waters and a promising moon phase, so let's unlock its secrets together. Now for what you've all been waiting for, our species-specific forecast and the tactics to use on this particular day. Based on our data, late October sees a lot of activity from predators stocking up for winter and some coarse fish still feeding actively. First up, let's talk about pike. In my experience, autumn is prime time for these freshwater sharks. On a day like Saturday, with cool temperatures and partly cloudy skies, they'll be on the prowl. You'll want to look for them in features in slower-flowing rivers, canals and lakes. Think deeper sections around submerged structures like weed beds, fallen trees and bridge pilings where they can ambush prey. The water will be cooling, so they might not be as aggressive as in early autumn, but they'll be feeding. For tackle, a medium to heavy spinning rod with a strong main line, at least 15 to 20-pound braid, is ideal. Always use a wire trace, friends, their teeth are no joke. As for lures, consider medium-sized jerkbaits, soft plastic shades, or spinnerbaits in natural baitfish colors or something with a bit of flash. If you prefer dead bait, try float-fished or ledgered sea baits like mackerel or herring, as these oily baits can attract larger, more cautious pike. Retrieve your lures slowly with pauses, letting them sink into potential ambush spots. Next, let's turn our attention to perch. These striped bandits are still very active in late October. As the water cools, perch tend to shoal up and move into deeper sections of lakes, canals and rivers. Look for them along drop-offs, underwater humps and the edges of deeper channels. Bridges and locks are also classic perch haunts. A light to medium spinning rod or a sensitive float rod will do the trick. Small lures like micro jigs, small spinners, or tiny crankbaits can be incredibly effective. Don't forget natural baits like worms, especially dendrobanas, or small live baits if allowed, presented on a simple float rig or a paternoster rig close to the bottom. Perch are aggressive, so don't be afraid to work your lures actively, but also try a static bait if the bite is slow. Remember, they often hunt in packs, so where you find one, there are usually more. And finally, for the coarse anglers, the ever-reliable roach. While many species slow down, roach remain active into late autumn, feeding to build reserves. They'll be found in canals and slow-flowing rivers, often gathering in shoals. Look for them in slightly deeper water than in summer, perhaps in the main boat channel of canals or along deeper margins and near any cover. A light float rod or a quiver-tip feeder rod is perfect. Use a fine main line, perhaps 2 or 3 pound breaking strain, and small hooks, size 20 or 22. The best baits for roach include maggots, pinkies or squats, casters, bread punch or hemp. Introduce a steady stream of loose feed, little and often, to keep the shoal interested and feeding confidently. They can be finicky in cooler water, so scale down your tackle and bait size if needed. Sometimes a single caster on a small hook is all it takes. Now let's break down the conditions for Saturday, October 25th, 2025. The weather. Across the United Kingdom will be quite cool for late autumn. We're looking at air temperatures generally between 50 degrees Fahrenheit and 55 degrees Fahrenheit, which is around 10 to 13 degrees Celsius. Nights will be colder, potentially dropping to the low 40s Fahrenheit or 5 to 8 degrees Celsius. We can expect partly cloudy skies with a very low chance of rain, perhaps just a 5 to 15% likelihood. Wind might be moderate, leaning towards breezy conditions with an average speed of about 18 kilometers per hour. This cool, partly cloudy and potentially breezy weather, without extreme pressure changes or heavy rain, usually means fish will be active, though perhaps not as frantic as in earlier autumn. The consistent weather pattern for a few days before is a good sign, as fish prefer stable conditions. Water temperatures will be cool, likely in the low teens Celsius or high 50s Fahrenheit. As fish are cold-blooded, their metabolism slows down in colder water, but in late October they are still actively feeding to prepare for winter. This cooling trend means fish will often seek out slightly deeper, more stable temperature zones. Deeper holes, canal beds, and areas with cover will offer some thermal stability and attract fish looking for a consistent feeding ground. As for the mighty moon phase, October 25th, 2025, brings us a mighty waxing crescent moon. It will be only 3 to 4 days old with about 14 to 19% illumination, and it will be growing larger. The moon will rise before noon and set before midnight. Popular fishing lore often associates a waxing moon with increasing fish activity, particularly around moonrise and moonset. While it's still early in the waxing cycle, this increasing light can still be a subtle trigger, especially for nocturnal feeders or those sensitive to lunar cycles. So don't rule out those twilight hours. Considering all these factors, the cool, stable, partly cloudy weather, dropping water temperatures pushing fish to deeper areas, and the early waxing crescent moon, I'd rate the overall bite on Saturday, October 25th, 2025 as good but capricious. Fish will be feeding, especially predators, but you might need to work a bit harder, adapt your tactics and find those deeper holding spots. The slight chill in the air and water means they won't be in a frantic summer feeding frenzy, but they're still hungry. So, my friends, get your gear ready. I wish you all tight lines and nippy bites. Don't forget to hit that like button if you found this forecast helpful, and subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss out on future insights. What are your plans for this weekend's fishing? Have you noticed any particular patterns in late autumn? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your input helps our whole community grow. Until next time, stay safe and happy fishing.